Over the past few years, I've been getting more and more sponsored videos, and I've been able to charge more money. In this video, I want to kind of talk about how can you start out getting sponsored videos, and then once you are getting sponsored videos, what should you be doing to increase your earnings on those? So obviously the first step with sponsored videos is either contacting someone or being contacted. I've tried both, and let me tell you my experience with reaching out and contacting people. There are a few different ways to do that. The first way is you find a product, you see if they have a website, you go on their website, you go to their contact us section, and usually look for something like a media@company.com or something like that. A lot of companies even have affiliate programs or an email for the affiliate program. So that is a way you can start reaching out to brands. If you are in Creator Connections, you can also reach out to brands directly, or if you use third-party platforms like Levanta, then you can reach out to brands that way. Now, I've done this many times, and honestly, I get a pretty bad rate of return for all of the emails I send out. Not only that, but it's getting worse and worse as there are more people in the Amazon influencer program. Sellers are getting bombarded by emails or contact for people wanting to do videos for them. And the reality is, if you are reaching out to a brand to have them send you something for free, it's going to be really difficult to also convince them to pay you money for it. Now, if you have a large YouTube or TikTok channel, that might be a little bit different. But even then, most of your emails are going to get lost in the shuffle. So reaching out to brands, in my opinion, is not really a good way to get sponsored videos. So that leaves you with the other option, which is brands reaching out to you. So how does this happen? The short answer is just persistence and creating high quality videos. The larger your YouTube channel or TikTok channel, the more often people are going to reach out to you. Within the space of Amazon reviews, there are lists that go around. There are other websites where your name can be on a list and sellers can pay money to get access to your name and your contact information. But the important thing to know about that is if you're not putting your contact information out there, then no one's going to be able to find you. So if you are doing reviews and you have some awesome name, like whatever your review channel is, then make sure you have a specific email for that. And then honestly, put it everywhere. Try to get spammed. People will reach out to you once you start getting a following, once you start getting people subscribing to you on your YouTube channel. This is the best way to start getting sponsored videos. The next step to this is how are you actually getting paid? Because when people reach out to you, it's always going to be, hey, I have a product. Will you make a video for that? Will you do it for free? Especially if you don't have a lot of followers, people are not going to reach out to you saying, hey, we want to pay you to make a video. That will happen eventually, but even when it does, people aren't usually offering a certain amount of money. It's kind of a game of back and forth of how much does an influencer think they're worth and how much does a seller think they're worth. And then once you can meet in the middle, that's when you start getting paid. So let's assume you've started a YouTube channel, you've put a bunch of review videos on there, your videos are nice, they're high quality, you're starting to get subscribers, put your email address out there. At some point, you're probably going to get several emails every single day for people wanting you to do a video for them. This is the exact step that I do when this happens. I make an email template in Gmail. Let's start with a blank canvas. Let me show you what I do. I do some happy message, and then I write something that says, hey, I would love to make a video for you. And then I give the stipulations. The next thing I do is I offer kind of a lower price and a time period, and I state how long the video will be. So say someone wants to make an Amazon video, I'll do that for $1 for a 1 to 2 minute long video. Then I go with a price higher than that, and usually with a duration longer than the previous one. And then next I go with even a higher price, and I usually say that for that price, I will give you full usage rights for the video. I think this is probably the most important step, and I will tell you why in just a bit. And one thing I almost forgot is put a link for everything that you might upload to. So if you're going to upload to Amazon, put a link to your Amazon storefront. Or if you're going to upload to YouTube, put a link to your YouTube page. Now, maybe you don't have a very big YouTube channel yet, but you have like one video on YouTube and it's really good video. You could put a link to that video. What you want to do is provide some sort of social proof or show what you are capable of doing. So when they look at that, they'll be like, oh, this person creates really nice videos. I want to purchase the YouTube package, or oh, this person does a video just like everyone else, but they do it for $1 for Amazon, I'm okay with that. And the reason I like doing different prices is because it just gives you more options for what people might choose. What's been happening for me is more people are interested now in my YouTube videos. It used to be that people just always wanted videos for Amazon because the price was lower, but even though I still have a lower price, more and more people are wanting my YouTube videos. And the thing is, when I make a video for people, I'm still uploading it to both Amazon and YouTube because I still want the earnings and the commissions from getting the sales. But this is what I put down. So it gives people options. They're more likely to do a sponsored video if they have a few options to choose from. If you've never done this before, it might seem scary because you might think, oh, what if I do this? And sellers are so put off by it that they're just gonna not send you anything. Or maybe someone offers you something you really, really want, or it's really expensive. Maybe you shouldn't do this because then they'll never contact you again. To be honest, that does happen sometimes. That is the worst case scenario. But what usually happens is if they don't want to pay you money, they'll just come back and they will write you an email and they'll say, sorry, that's not in our budget. I hope I can work with you next time. If that happens and you still really want the item, you can say, well, you know what? The item you want me to do a video for, I think I have a great video idea for it. I'd really like that item. So let's just do a video for free. And then you can go from there. A lot of times sellers will come back and say, hey, we really want you to make a video for us, but we can't spend that much money. Are you willing to come down a bit? Or maybe they will offer a price. And then obviously from there you can negotiate. And if it ever gets to a point where basically everyone's agreeing with the rates that you have, then that's a good indication that it's probably about time to start increasing your rates. What you want to do is you don't want everyone to accept because that means your prices are too low. What you want to have happen is you want to maintain a good amount of people sending you stuff and paying you for it so you can keep up with the demand. And once you can't keep up with the demand anymore, then you can start increasing your prices and you can go up and up and up. I don't think I'm at a point where I can charge crazy high prices, but I started out at about $25 and I've worked my way up from there. I've done sponsored posts for, I think, the highest one I did was around $500 or something like that. But I think the email template is a fantastic way to work with sellers. So once you have a template, you just need to go here to templates and just save draft as template. And then the next time someone emails you to review something for them, you just insert the template, press send, you're good to go. It's a nice, fast way to go through all your emails without wasting a bunch of time responding to every single seller. I did mention that I think it's important to have a line for usage rights. This is why it's so important. Once you've made several videos, people are going to start stealing your videos. And when I say people, most of the time that is going to be sellers. So if you find a seller who has sent you a product and then you find later down the road they actually took your video, they uploaded it as their own, they stole your video, you could go to Amazon and you could file a copyright claim and Amazon will take it down usually within 1 or 2 days. But what I like to do is I will go back to my contact for that seller and I will say, hey, do you remember back in that original email where I gave all my prices? You were using my video, but I never gave you full usage rights. But if you want to keep using that video, that's my price for full usage rights. And more often than not, people will go ahead and pay me for that. So I can earn more money after the fact. So rather than killing off all relations with that seller, you can work out something, you can maintain a good relationship. They can pay you money for the usage rights. And of course, you have to judge if that makes sense for you. If this is an item that sells a lot and you have duplicate videos, you might rather them take down the video so you get the commissions. So you always just have to do that on a case-by-case basis. But I hope this gave you some ideas for how you can start getting more sponsored posts, how you can start making more money from them. Now, I've heard a lot of people say that doing sponsored posts isn't a great idea because the products that people send you, you're never really going to make a lot of money from them. So in my next video, I'm going to do a deep dive. I'm going to look over my products that are making me the most money, see which ones were from sponsored videos, which ones weren't, see if it makes sense to do sponsored videos or not. If that's something you think you would be interested in, I hope you'll join me for my next video. Thanks.